Shubham, this is the big one. Supremely happy. With Shubham's reaction, I think we can tell it was United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford. Arsenal 5 on the trot, wins, looking good, looking like actually like a team that has something to cheer for and can go long into the season and surprise a lot of people. But it had to be United. It always is, isn't it?
Absolutely. Again, I just think leading up to this match, watching all the different channels and all the hype to the match, all Arsenal fans were definitely looking forward to this game, and they expected Arsenal to win at Old Trafford. And if I be very honest, I felt that it's going to be a draw. I didn't think United is going to win because United started the season was horrible. Last 3 games we picked up, but again they were like narrow 1-0 victories. The only noticeable big win was against Liverpool, and Arsenal till now they've not had a stern test. The 5 teams that they played aren't like real teams that could test Arsenal. You expect Arsenal to get those points. But coming to Old Trafford, I expected a draw, and the way United have turned up, I just think the squad is looking good. Eric Ten Hag is doing a good job. The new signings have really contributed to the team. I think Martinez, amazing for all the shit he's got for his height. That guy is literally a lion in the defensive phase. He's amazing. He and Varane together make a great partnership. What I'm really, really shocked to see is in the last 3-4 games, the way Scott McTominay has had a revival suddenly. That guy is actually playing much better than what he was when we played Brentford and Brighton. And Eriksen, too, that guy for coming back from a heart attack and his journey as well, his revival, getting to the squad and just playing those exquisite passes, quick passes, 1-touch, 2-touch football, fantastic. So yeah, but having said that, I think Arsenal were also good. There were quite a few phases in the game, like proper 10-15 minute phases where Arsenal were looking good. It's just that they could not finish. And having said that, I don't really think they had too many clear-cut chances, maybe like half chances. But yeah, I think I just think on the counter, United are very, very strong on the counter. The pace that they have up front, especially another thing is against the top teams, like you take Liverpool or Arsenal, or I think even City, Tottenham, teams who could dominate United. I think just having that pace that could one ball can get Rashford, Sancho behind the defenses. I think United are looking good. So yeah, great result. 3-1. Everyone is happy, motivated. I think the season is finally started.
Everyone is not happy, my dude. There are literally
I'm talking
such
about
a
United
typical
fans.
United fan. The world ends at Manchester United and their fans.
Dude, you're saying like the world doesn't end for you guys with Arsenal, or throughout the week, hey, Arsenal are going to win, man.
Yeah,
we dominate at Old
exactly,
Trafford.
Shubham.
We won 5 games. Oh.
This Robbie, sorry guys,
You're
1
behaving
second.
like you don't
No,
identify
wait.
myself and Krishnan as Arsenal fans. I'm like, what are you saying?
Even I knew he meant every United fan. What
Yeah,
is
of course.
this
I meant every
unnecessary
United
grief
fan.
you're giving him? And firstly, Robbie said he would pick Thomas Partey over Casemiro in his 11. How? Why?
Arsenal
What is
fans have
wrong with
always
you?
been deluded.
So yeah,
We
exactly.
can just
So don't even
accept
get
that
us
as a fact.
started.
Yeah.
Rich coming from a United fan, okay?
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the
Bro,
game.
in my entire review, tell me where I was like biased.
No,
I think I was very
reasonable. It was completely reasonable.
I didn't call you unreasonable. It's Rich coming from a United fan that all other Arsenal fans are deluded, as if United doesn't have that similar-ish fan base. Which is
but I genuinely
completely
feel
loco.
I genuinely
but
feel a lot
okay.
of the Arsenal fan base was deluded because of the 5-game start that you all had. You all felt that you all will come to Old Trafford and just have like a cakewalk. I thought that was like a bit too much. It was too much overconfidence.
Yeah, when AFTV's leader says someone like Thomas Partey is better than Casemiro, you know where the
Can we
delusion
just one thing for all fans across sports? AFTV does not represent Arsenal fans, guys. Please.
Well, AFTV
We
does
get
represent
shut-
Arsenal fans.
No,
That's
but
the funny
no,
thing,
but
it
it doesn't
does.
represent every person that thinks like it's not like I agree with everything that like because I belong to India and India has a radio station doesn't mean I agree with every opinion that the guy has. AFTV doesn't represent the majority of Arsenal fans. Those guys are way too aggressive. After any time we even have 51% possession, they get hyped as if we're going to dominate the league. So AFTV is not representative. But anyway, getting back to the game, I actually totally agree with Malu. I think everything he said was totally reasonable. This is the one area, and I think you can agree with this. Arteta has to get a little cleverer. Is he gets outplayed by managers. He doesn't And he's had this multiple times where managers just tactically defeat him. Erik ten Hag didn't look to get possession this game. Erik ten Hag, against any pressing side, even if you basically follow football, the rule is simple. You beat them on the break. You beat them on the break. And when you have the passers of the likes of Bruno Fernandes, who really found his feet, he's really found his feet in the last couple of games, and absolutely Christian Eriksen with that pass right off the bat for the first goal.
Rashford's goal.
For the first goal, when he found the initial ball to Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
His first ball to Bruno Fernandes for the first goal. We just gave them too much time on the ball. The one thing that I will say for just Arsenal in general, the worst thing we can do after this is panic. I don't think we had that bad a game. Like, I think we played generally to our strengths. They just created better chances and scored the better chances. We have to be better on the counter. That's the only big takeaway. We were a little bit stupid on the counter. We tried playing way too high a line, and we got beaten pretty much for the last 3 goals with simply just one ball in that completely destroyed us. So you have to be a little smart on that. I want to quickly shout out the new signings point you brought up, Malu, but I specifically want to give a huge shout out to Malacia and the influence he's had on this United team. Even this game, he was getting challenged by Saka, and he got beaten a few times. Sometimes he got beaten, but he just stuck with it. And that is a tough matchup to go 90 minutes against Saka. And Arsenal was running a lot down that right-hand side. He just stuck with it, kept going. He is a great infusion of youth, of energy, and of constant positivity in defense. But honestly, for Arsenal fans, I don't think there's anything to panic about. United deserved the game today. They just created chances, but we don't need to stress out. Just be smarter on the press is the big takeaway. But good job by United, actually. Like, very, very solid performance, especially by the new players.
No, one thing I agree with you 100%, I think, is with Arteta's tactical changes. I think, like you mentioned, when you play top teams and top managers, I think that level of tactical expertise, maybe Arteta doesn't have, which he needs to build up quickly. But yeah, otherwise, I agree with you on Malacia as well. I think that kid is like, what, 22, 23, and the way he's playing, it's unbelievable. But having said that, I think Saka is some player, man. Every time he was on the ball, I felt I literally felt nervous. I thought maybe something could happen, because obviously, like you said, there are a few times when he did beat Malacia and he got into good positions. But yeah, in the final third, Arsenal weren't good enough.
So I swear, if you ask me my general take on the game, here in this game, right? It was just, I don't feel like anyone tactically outsmarted the other, right? The usual tactics of Arsenal didn't really lead to them scoring a plethora of goals, but Ten Hag basically did the bare minimum, fundamentally get the game right, which is break on the counter. Classic. I mean, I know this United won the away side, but typical, right? This is when you go to a big ground away. This is what you want to do. You break on the counter, manage to hold the other team down for a bit. That works, and that worked this time beautifully for United. And I think the one soft VAR call, which I think is now expected in every Premier League game, there is either a dodgy in the sense, I don't think anything dodgy about it, but it was a bit much to have a VAR call in the other half. Again, I don't care enough, because anyway, if you add that goal and you still lose, right? It's still a 3-2. But DDG had a great save in the first half. Odegaard flopped with that one bad, horrendous miss from like 7 yards away, I think. On his left, that too. I was like, damn, I think I let out a scream in that moment. But again, there was enough in that game to, let everyone know that Arsenal is on the right path. Maybe just got outplayed in the sense that sometimes at 1-1, you don't have to be that aggressive. And one more thing, forget everything else, like maybe not a change of tactics, but I think he moved when we were getting momentum. There was the triple sub, right? There was a triple
sub. I think
substitution.
Quadruple sub, in fact. It might have been a quadruple sub, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the Smith Rowe for Odegaard and all of those changes which happened were when we were kind of dominate. I think we dominated the last 7 or 8 minutes, and in that moment, you decide to sub off 3 players. Doesn't really work. Which is where maybe I probably could have. I feel like he could have held back his substitutions, if not anything. And then because what you're trying to implement was working with those players, and then you sub them off, and you try to implement the same thing with one player who's playing his first game for Arsenal, nonetheless. Uh, I don't think you should be expecting much, and that's when we got like another one in the net.
I just simply think that Jesus tried too much in this game. He wanted to be the glory man. I know I'm being extremely critical of his performance. There were easily 2 or 3 outlets where he could have played the ball wide out and they would have had a chance to create more. He tried running it at defenders, trying to dribble past them a bit too much. That's where I've been critical of him at the times in City as well. And I think that was a reason why Guardiola sort of chose to not play him as much as he could have, because I saw it today. He's hungry to be in the limelight, and that's his sort of downfall. There were moments where he, for example, beat Lisandro on a couple of occasions, but then he went back for more. He could have easily have squared the ball across goal, and it's a tap-in potential, or at least creates that chance or that option. Trying to go in for glory, and I understand he's a striker. I understand he's there to score goals, but those are opportunities spurned, especially in such games where if you are looking at the game with a microscope, you can be critical because that's the difference maker at the end of the day. I was critical about Bruno doing the same thing and not playing Ronaldo in, even though we were 2-1 up. These are those small elements and moments that can change these big games, and that's where City make all the difference, and that's what makes teams like City so good. The fact that they see that final pass because they don't want to be wasteful and be as efficient and as lethal as possible. So, I mean, that's just from a critique standpoint. I think all of you highlighted everything in terms of how the game played out. I think Arsenal still panicked when they conceded the second goal. I saw panic. And what I mean by panic is they weren't playing the free-flowing football that they were at the start of the game. You could see that they were pushing for that equalizer. And I think they lost their heads a bit because of whatever, I think if they were a bit, I just saw a more calm demeanor from the United players in defense, and even McTominay. I still didn't think McTominay had a good game. Yes, he had a few things defensively, but he shies away from the ball, doesn't collect passes. When he does get the ball, he plays terrible passes. I don't see him offering much at all. I know Casemiro came on and also made a massive blunder and almost led to a goal. But I
was
think,
surprised that Casemiro didn't start. I was expecting him to start.
Exactly. But obviously, but we saw he's off the wavelength. He's not matching that wavelength yet. He'll get there and he will eventually. But I don't like McTominay playing there still. Fred came on and he was fire. And I would still have Fred playing there. But again, McTominay can bully people because at least that's what you hope. And he loves this passion and pure passion merchant. But that's all because Eriksen was so good again. So I think lots of elements. I still think Arsenal need to sort out their defense. Arteta can't keep playing a high line like this. It doesn't work. So yeah.
I think one super quick thing to add on the VAR call, because I think we've talked so much about VAR on this call. I actually like the decision because to me, context matters in football, right? And a lot of times I don't particularly like when there's a foul that happens like way at the other end of the field, and then like a coach is complaining like, oh, but this foul impacted this pass. But I think context matters, right? In this case specifically, there was one pass made after that. It was literally Odegaard fouls Bruno, Saka gets the ball to Martinelli. So I think context matters, and only because of that, I was irritated, but I actually liked the decision from the referee, and I like that they gave it to. I love that they're now giving it to the referee to make the decision. I absolutely love that. So I actually thought, weird to say, and this is maybe going to be one of the 1 in 100 times we say this, I think we are weirdly got it right, and it may be one of the few times that they do. But again, I love that they were discretionary and the situation mattered, and that's what they used to finally take the call. For that situation, I think it made sense that they
Thanks,
called
Krishnan. Thank you. Because according to me as well, a foul is a foul. He didn't touch the ball at all. Clearly just ran his foot through Eriksson, and both his hands were on Eriksson as well. I mean, if that's not as clear and obvious, soft, so what? I mean, it led to the
There
goal.
was
So
a
I'm not
lot
going to buy that bullshit.
No, it was still soft though, I will say. I'm not saying
of
it was a foul for
WWE
sure, but it was a soft foul. Yeah.
in 1 second. At some point, I felt like I was watching WWE. There was like forget WWE. There was a UFC. There was someone attempted a body triangle on someone. McTominay had a body triangle on someone. I'm not even joking. And okay, fine. Maybe that VAR call is. I don't want to debate much about it because okay, maybe it's a foul, right?
Maybe
a
no,
foul.
it was.
No, it's
It
not
was.
maybe.
Okay,
It's
I
a
took it
foul.
back.
was.
I
It's
took
soft,
it back.
it's soft, but it's a
I took
foul.
it back very
What the heck,
quickly.
man?
It's a foul. It's a foul. Okay, fine. But there was United not having a single yellow card in the first half was also kind of crazy considering there were
Big
hands on.
games, how many
a-
fouls are given in big games, Koi? Come on, man. You're just
Lord.
being you're
Lord,
just being
You're
extremely
sounding like one of those
deluded right now.
managers who complained,
Exactly.
like Rishabh was saying the ball was on the other end of the pitch, which led to the goal. You're also sounding like one of those managers giving
Flop
excuses now.
scenes going on
I
here.
just pacified the situation, bro. I literally
Anyway,
just pacified the
anyway,
situation.
Krishnan,
You
you're
think
right.
you can?
I
You
think
think you
we
can
need to
ever
call this.
pacify? You think you can ever pacify a United versus Arsenal situation? It's not happening for another 100 years.
Fair point. Fair point.
No, this is where it comes back to Shubham's point, delusion. Anyway, on that note, this is our hot take of this Super Sunday. Mixed reactions for us being Indians. Obviously, so that
Half
was a
of us
bummer
being
for all
Arsenal
of us.
fans.
And then double whammy for Krishnan and Goi. And yeah, we'll catch you again next week with a new episode or a new hot take. See you soon.